Welcome to the Skelton Report. I'm Mark Nathaniel Skelton, and today we'll be discussing when our loved ones deny dementia. So let's go ahead and get started with the presentation. I found a really cool article from the Alzheimer Society. I have the link at the end, and it's titled Understanding Denial and Lack of Insight. So, why discuss this? I think it's important to talk about because we'll have a better understanding of supporting those with dementia and more so understand the way that they think or feel and or behave. And so we'll simply just discuss dementia denial, reactions to dementia, and why some people cannot accept the diagnosis. All right, so the first thing is just dementia denial. When a person is diagnosed with dementia, they may not understand or accept their diagnosis, as the article outlines. They may also have limited or no awareness of their symptoms and the difficulties that they're having, even when, I think this is important, when it's obvious to those that are around them. This may be because the person is in denial, or another way is a lack of insight. In either case, it will be hard to talk to the person and or support them. So that's something you got to keep in mind you're not alone on. Also, when a person doesn't accept their diagnosis, every person who is diagnosed with dementia will react differently to the news, and they'll do it in their own way. Many people find it difficult to come to terms with or adjust to a diagnosis of dementia. Some people may feel that nothing is wrong and will not recognize that they're experiencing any problems. Others may acknowledge that they're having difficulties and they'll contribute to other conditions or aging. For example, they may say that their memory loss is because they're getting older. They may avoid talking about their conditions by changing the subject. So again, that's something that's typical, something to be expected. And also, why can't a person with dementia understand or accept their diagnosis? This is important because a person may be unable to acknowledge their diagnosis or symptoms because of denial. So there's this lack of awareness, and we talked about that earlier, this lack of insight. And a lack of awareness and denial, those are two different things. So denial is one thing. It's you have it and it's just too much to bear, so you just ignore it. The other one is just lack of awareness or insight. Now, it may also be much harder for a person that has dementia to understand this, the lack of awareness, because that they have confusion. So they have confusion and memory loss, and this may make it more difficult to acknowledge the symptoms, as they may not be able to recognize or remember the difficulties that they're having. So that's something to keep in mind, to not maybe press the issue so hard, and it could be very difficult to try to convince someone who's not able to recognize that they have those symptoms. Okay, so just kind of keep that in mind. And so the recap is dementia denial is pretty normal thing to happen, and everybody does react differently. So we got to keep that in mind. Some people are more accepting, and some people would prefer to live in a world like which they wish it used to be, but it's not. But it's important too to know that don't bang your head on the wall trying to convince someone, because at times their confusion and memory loss may contribute to them not being able to have the insight to recognize this diagnosis. All right. So here goes the sites. If this information was helpful, just be sure to like, share, comment, or follow me here. And there goes the reference. Again, the Alzheimer Society, Understanding Denial, Lack of Insight. And I hope that was helpful to you as it was for me. And again, the main point is you may have to have some patience if you're a caregiver, or if it's a loved one in your community, and you should just be patient and empathetic. but also recognize that I think that last part is most important, that the memory loss and the confusion that individual may have with dementia or neurocognitive disorders may make it difficult for them to recognize. So I hope that helps you out, and I will just catch you on the next go around. Peace.